It's the Super Sunday of elections. Good morning. I'm Barkha Dutt. You're with the Mojo story. It's been a sleepless night for most of us preparing for this counting day, but imagine how sleepless the politicians must have been. As we get ready for the first leads to come in, joining us with us are our political pundits to help us decode the data this morning. Kartikeya Batra and Manu Sharma, both with the C Voter polling agency, are with us. Good morning to both of you, and especially to Kartikeya, a very happy birthday. I can think of different ways that someone may choose to spend their birthday, but this is your love for politics and for data, and we hope you have a fruitful birthday.
Thank you, Barkha. Thank you.
All right, let's get started with the big picture. The first leads will, of course, start coming in only at 8 a.m. The morning has begun with many politicians across these 5 states, but Mizoram will be counted, of course, tomorrow with prayers at temples. In the last 2 days, politicians have finally got some little time off, and they've been offering prayers at whatever God that they believe in. The stakes are high, and as we wait for the leads, I want to actually understand why the stakes are so high. Of course, one reason, and the obvious reason, Manu, is that we are, five months away from the general elections. What impact do you think these assembly elections will have on national politics? I'll start with you, Manu.
Well, I think, first of all, we can begin with Telangana. So in Telangana, the trend has been that whenever the Congress has been able to be strong in these now 2 Telugu states, but it was erstwhile Andhra Pradesh, it has done well at the center also. So for Congress, not only it's a provincial election, for them it's actually a good omen if they end up winning Telangana. So it would be a morale boost of sorts. So it's quite critical for them from that respect. The other bit is about winning seats or states in the Hindi heartland, because to effectively challenge the BJP across the 200 odd seats in the Lok Sabha, where BJP and the Congress come face to face, East has to establish itself and make a mark as a worthy challenger. Otherwise, the same story is likely to repeat in the Lok Sabha, that the message on the ground is that the BJP and Congress, when they're locked in a two-party contest, Congress is unable to best the BJP.
Interesting. But Karthik, here's my big question to you. Let's assume, and right now we're still in the realm of speculation, we can afford the speculation for a few more minutes. If I could take this to Kartikeya Batra and bring him in now, let's assume for a moment that the Congress is able to stop KCR's hat trick in Telangana, but it loses Madhya Pradesh, as some of the exit polls are suggesting. The exit polls have been very divided this time. Politically, what might that mean?
So I think that's a lot of, that's probably one of the least likely permutation that one would have thought getting into the election, that the Congress wins Telangana plus 1 Hindi heartland state and loses 2 Hindi heartland states. The idea always was the Congress would win 2 Hindi heartland states, probably Rajasthan would go to the BJP and Telangana would go to the BRS. But if the Congress wins, say, Chhattisgarh and Telangana, it's a different combination altogether. So now what do you take away from that? Well, the good news for the Congress is Telangana is a state that, as Manu was saying, has implications for the Lok Sabha. It is a state where the Gandhi family has enough goodwill. The Congress party probably has enough goodwill that the state elections might correlate with the parliamentary elections, which is unlike the case in the northern Indian states. The other important factor is that a state like Telangana opens avenues to resource mobilization. It's an underappreciated fact in Indian politics, but it's true. You need resource-rich states to, fight elections. If Karnataka wouldn't have happened, Telangana wouldn't have happened for the Congress, for instance. Now, what does it imply that, they lose, say, Madhya Pradesh? If after 23 years of one government, barring the 1.5 years in between where Mr. Kamalnath was CM, the Congress still can't come to power, it speaks volumes about how they have managed the campaign and what the weaknesses are. And that is something that they need to look into very deeply from a Lok Sabha perspective. Chhattisgarh also is becoming closer, as exit polls are saying. Rajasthan, on the other hand, if they're able to manage a tough fight, then that means that they have a formula which can work even in the most adverse scenarios for the Congress. So there are multiple takeaways, but I must say that if Congress wins Telangana plus one North Indian state, that is the sort of combination that very few people would have guessed at the beginning of this round of elections. Conventional wisdom told us that Congress gets two of the North Indian states, does well in Telangana and loses one state. But if that composition changes, the other one other important thing, Barkha, before you sort of step in, is that if the Congress does win Telangana, does that pave way for a sharp polarization along north-south lines in Indian politics? That, Congress is the preferred national party south of the Vindhyas, and the BJP is the preferred national party north of the Vindhyas. And as I myself say, there might be some swing states then. Some are the saffron states, some are the Congress's blue states, and then you have some swing states like Maharashtra, Bihar, Haryana, which might swing, whereas the Uttarakhand and the Uttar Pradeshes of the world, the Gujarats of the world, probably will turn saffron, whereas the Telanganas, the Karnatakas, are they turning Congress blue? So we don't know, but I'm just saying that's another way of perceiving these things if the Congress wins Telangana.
Okay, talking about Telangana, and somehow it's become, a state where politicians are already preparing for what might happen after the results. Very interestingly, we've seen DK Shivakumar, the troubleshooter, the key leader from Karnataka, reaching Telangana to guard Congress MLAs against poaching. And it's very interesting, Karthik and Manu. I want to play what Prime Minister said during his campaign, where he actually suggested, he set the cat among the pigeons. He suggested that KCR wanted to join the NDA and it was the BJP that said no. And he actually went on record to say that the BJP could never join hands with the BRS, and Modi himself was giving that guarantee. Let's listen in, and then we talk a little more about what might happen in Telangana.
Na kutum sabhyulara केसीआर को बीजेपी की बढ़ती हुई ताकत का एहसान बहुत पहले हो गया था। ये एहसास उनको हो गया था। लंबे समय से केसीआर इस कोशिश में थे कि किसी तरह बीजेपी से दोस्ती कर लें। जब वो एक बार दिल्ली आए थे तो मुझसे मिलकर भी केसीआर ने यही रिक्वेस्ट की थी, लेकिन बीजेपी कभी भी तेलंगाना के लोगों की इच्छा के खिलाफ कोई भी काम नहीं कर सकती। जब से बीजेपी ने केसीआर को मना किया है, तब से बीआरएस बौखलाई हुई है। बीआरएस अब मुझे गाली देने का कोई मौका नहीं छोड़ती। बीआरएस जानती है कि मोदी कभी बीआरएस को बीजेपी के आसपास भी फटकने नहीं देंगे, और ये गारंटी भी मोदी की गारंटी है। और मोदी की गारंटी यानी गारंटी पूरी होने की गारंटी। मोदी गारी गारंटी अंटे గ్యారంటీగా పూర్తి అయ్యే గ్యారంటీ।
నా కుటుంబ సభ్యులారా, కేసీఆర్ కి బీజేపీ యొక్క పెరుగుతున్నటువంటి శక్తి సత్తా గురించి ముందే అనుభవంలోకి వచ్చింది. అందుకే ఆయన
Okay, so the Prime Minister himself is giving a guarantee, and yet, I'm going to play one more comment. DK Shivakumar is in Telangana, and he's already talking about possible poaching, as are other Congress leaders. Let's take a listen in to DK Shivakumar, his presence in Telangana. Very, very interesting. Let's play that clip.
It is a neighboring state. We all have been involved. I've gone for the campaigning. there are some of our responsibilities what we have to do, help our party leaders. It is quite obvious. The entire Telangana team was here in our elections. They also helped us. We also have to help them.
So don't you have the confidence on your legislators? Because are you somewhere worried about poaching?
We are not worried. No one will go. All our candidates, whomever they have approached, they have already informed us that this is the attempt they are trying to make. They are also very cautious. We are also very.
Okay, let's get comments in on why Telangana is so high stakes, and of course there's the Hindi heartland politics that we'll move to in a moment. Karthik, any thoughts? I know you've got your eyes fixed on the first lead to come in, but we still have 10 minutes for that. DK Shivakumar in Telangana, the Prime Minister saying personally, मैं guarantee देता हूँ ये हम दोनों parties कभी हाथ नहीं मिलाएंगे, but we know that there's no such thing as never in politics, right?
That's true. And a lot of people have been arguing with me that, if KCR loses this election, BJP, BRS will align after the assembly elections. I have my doubts, but then never say never in politics. But, Barkha, you have to understand the anatomy of this Telangana election, right? As I said, if Karnataka hadn't happened for the Congress, Telangana would not have happened the way it's going. Even if the Congress just pulls up a very good performance, they don't form the government, but the upswing that they have seen has been to a very large extent been facilitated by the morale of the cadre after the Karnataka victory, the Bharat Jodo Yatra, and plus the resources that have come from Karnataka. Let's not hide behind, convenient truths. It is true, your resources are important. And Mr. DK Shivkumar has played an important role in facilitating this. You remember when this Y.S. Sharmila was keen to contest elections with the Congress, it was Mr. DK Shivkumar who was driving the negotiations, and eventually it ended up being in a situation where the Congress did not include her, but made sure that she did not fight elections. It's as Machiavellian as it gets, because involving her in the election would have meant carrying that anti-Telangana tag that the YSR Reddy family carries with itself. So I think that the umbilical cord of this Telangana performance somehow starts with Bharat Jodo Yatra, but also traverses through the Karnataka victory. So I think that the involvement of the Karnataka unit in this election is, for me, no surprise at all. Mr. Revant Reddy, in fact, is said to share very good relations with Mr. DK Shivkumar. So I am not at all surprised by this, but I think it will mean a lot for the Congress if they end up pulling this off, because after a long time, the last time I remember Congress winning against a regional party, you can say 2017 Akali Dal, but going into the southern part of the country and winning against a regional party, we know how entrenched regional parties are in Dravidian politics, in southern Indian politics, let's just say, right? That will be, I think, a big fillip to the Congress morale, and I think that is something that they will take away if they win Telangana. But let's see. I mean, as you said, it's 8 minutes to go, and we'll know very soon.
We can indulge ourselves.
Barkha, by the way, we must also add for our viewers, Mizoram's counting is not happening today. One has to take note of that. It has been pushed to tomorrow because Sunday is an important day in Mizoram. So the Election Commission has announced that. So today, in fact, we'll be only counting for 4 states. Doesn't mean we're ignoring Mizoram, but it's not happening today. So Mizoram is happening tomorrow, and probably we'll be back tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. We are not in this instance guilty of ignoring the Northeast, as we've often been in the past. Mizoram is simply not counting today. Manu, very quickly, before we turn our attention to the other states, I want to play out something that Revant Reddy said to me. He actually said that he believes that even during the campaign, there was a strategic alliance between the BRS and the BJP. And both parties went red in the face, blue in the face, denying this. But voters seem to believe it. And this really helped the Congress fortunes, as it were, or it seems to. We'll find out in a couple of hours whether it did or not. This is Revant Reddy, the face of the Congress in Telangana, talking about what he called a strategic alliance between the BJP and the BRS. Listen it.
Are you worried though कि BJP और BRS, you all keep saying in your campaign, ये एक दूसरे की B team है. If you don't get a significant majority, तो ये तो चुनाव के बाद भी हाथ मिला सकते हैं.
मैं कभी भी B team नहीं कहा है. वो सीधा अलायंस है. NDA कूटमी में BJP
अलायंस है यार, B team भी नहीं बोल रहा.
Strategic alliance. This is called strategic alliance. BRS, BJP, MIM. India NDA Kutami, Congress, CPI, Telangana Janashakti, Professor Kodandaram is India Kutami. So the election is going between NDA Kutami and India Kutami. So पिक्चर साफ है, इसमें कोई छुपाने का नहीं है, कोई मुखौटा नहीं है. तो लोगों को पता है how they are supporting each and other.
Revant Reddy is an interesting character. He is somebody who's been in ABVP, a student leader. He has been close to Chandrababu Naidu. He has been close to KCR. He's now in the Congress. Owaisi tried to target him by calling him an RSS Anna, and he turned around and said, "Ki Owaisi ki sherwani ke niche to khaki nikkar hai." He's a sort of street, he has street fighter politics, as it were. But this narrative that ye dono parties mili hui hai, these two parties are together, how much do you think this has helped, possibly? Again, we have to say possibly till the actual results are in, Manu. How much do you think this might have helped the Congress?
Well, to a large extent, I must say, see, Revant Reddy comes from an ABVP background, as you just said. And the larger BJP parivar, if one must to say, it has been guilty of, or one can say it has strategically exercised this choice of propping up the local Telugu parties in joint Andhra and later on also at the cost of its own cadre, its own organization. And the rationale, well, they may very well explain, but it has been in the past that BJP has got around to about double-digit votes, especially in the 90s in the joint Andhra, and then suddenly, they tapered out. They just shifted the votes. So in this atmosphere of anti-incumbency, when people were looking for an option, basically BJP did a hit wicket and said, we are not an option anymore. So it's simple economics after that, that when you're in the market and looking for two options, and one of the options just rules itself out, all you have to do is just go and buy the next one. And I think that is what they did to the voters. That is, they ruled themselves out of the fray by tacit signaling, if one must to say, and that was it. That's where Congress benefit.
All right, as fascinating as Telangana is and might be, let's turn our attention for just a moment to an individual for whom this is a moment of reckoning, Karthik, which is Ashok Gehlot. Karthik, if you can hear me, otherwise I'll take it to Manu. Ashok Gehlot, Manu. It's a moment of reckoning for Ashok Gehlot. In fact, one senior journalist in Rajasthan was saying, win, lose, whatever, it's been a one-man show in the campaign. And I just want to play out Ashok Gehlot, what he's saying about his prospects and what might happen to him in the eventuality of a win or a defeat. Let's listen to Ashok Gehlot.
कल काउंटिंग है, पूरी तैयारी चल रही है, तमाम कैंडिडेट से बातचीत करी, बहुत उत्साह उन लोगों में, सब लोग पहुंच जाएंगे चुनाव जीतते ही, और चुनाव जीत रही है कांग्रेस, भारी बहुमत से स्पष्ट बहुमत मिलेगा, ये बात है।
क्या सभी को बुलाया गया है सर? क्या चुनाव के बाद में
वो तो प्रक्रिया होती है, हमारा ऑब्जर्वर लगे, आज ऑब्जर्वर लगा दिए एआईसीसी ने, कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष खड़गे साहब ने आदेश जारी करवा दिए, वो भी कल तक पहुंच जाएंगे ऑब्जर्वर्स, और परसों में सबको बुला लिया, प्रक्रिया शुरू हो जाती है, हमेशा होती है, नई बात नहीं है।
तो जीत के लिए कितना आस, क्योंकि
स्पष्ट बहुमत मिलेगा, स्पष्ट बहुमत मिलेगा, स्पष्ट बहुमत मिलेगा।
Spasht Bahummat Milega. It's really a moment of a reckoning for him. I can see Banu Chandra Nagarajan, analyst, political analyst with us. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're looking very serious. Are you tense? Is there a particular thing you're looking out for, Banu?
I think all the elections are going to go down the wire, including Mizoram for tomorrow. So I think it's going to be a very long day. But yeah, very exciting day. Looking forward to it, in fact.
Okay. Banu, we're going to ask you to try and fix your connection to us because we can't really see you. But the moment of reckoning for Ashok Gehlot, I want to talk a little bit about that. Manu, you want to take that first?
Yeah. So basically, Ashok Gehlot, how do you make an Ashok Gehlot? So you mix the guile of Ahmed Patel with the electoral nuance of a Sheila Dikshit. So he's a two-in-one kind of a character, and Congress doesn't have many of those around. And with that sort of a leader in the fray, who is really made what was a lost affair, into a pretty decent fight, I think if he manages to have a credible showing today, he would very well replace, Ahmed Patel, I would say, as the political strategist of Congress at the national level. That would be, I think, an appropriate step up for him.
Yeah. So this is a very interesting thought, Karthik. Just to remind our audience, the Congress at one point before Mallikarjun Kharge wanted Ashok Gehlot to take the job of Congress president. They thought that was one way to stem the dissidents with Sachin Pilot. He turned that job down. Sachin Pilot was hoping that this would be his moment in the sun. It did not happen. If Mr. Gehlot is able to pull off a win or even a neck-and-neck situation, what might be the scenarios and what does it do? I think, as Manu points out, for his individual standing within the party. One Congress leader said to me yesterday, obviously I can't name him, कि अगर अशोक गहलोत राजस्थान जीत जाते हैं तो कांग्रेस तो भाई जयपुर से चलेगी, दिल्ली भूल जाइए, because it will be the most extraordinary buck trending victory if it happens, and there's a big if there.
I'm not sure, but of course the Congress knows the Congress better. कि जयपुर से चलेगी या नहीं, but definitely we know who's going to be the chief minister. There's no doubt about it, क्योंकि गहलोत साहब ने खुद कहा मैं छोड़ना चाहता हूँ, कुर्सी मुझे नहीं छोड़ती. So let's see अगर कुर्सी उनको नहीं छोड़ती. But Barkha, I have always held this, and in fact I can remember exactly a year and 3 months back when I was on your show on this topic.
Yes.
The gentleman knows power politics within the party. I don't think he's a mass leader per se. At least not until this election. I don't think he's that sort of a charismatic mass leader, but he's definitely somebody who knows how power politics functions. And that's the reason why he's such a political survivor, and he's been one over the years. But, well, if he wins this round, probably he could be in the running for, 2024, right? Who knows? So let's see what happens today, but definitely if he wins, it will be a victory for him, and an unprecedented victory at that. But I'll also add, and I'm sure Manu will also second me on this, if Ashok Gehlot wins this election, he will also thank the BJP central leadership for this. Because there's been so much of a botch up in the BJP campaign in Rajasthan, Barkha, that if this were fought properly by the BJP, there would be no confusion at all. I am pretty certain about it.
Sorry, I'm cutting you short just to actually agree with you that one of the curious things about the BJP in this campaign, despite the Karnataka defeat, has been its decision to sideline its leaders, regional state leaders in Rajasthan, in Madhya Pradesh, in even Telangana, where Bandi Sanjay was replaced, because of internal dissensions. In election season, in Karnataka, they paid a price for it, and Yediyurappa's son is now back as the Karnataka chief. Banu is back with us. Banu, I'm hoping that you can hear us. But before we come to you, I want to play out Mamaji. Mamaji, who used to be a very consensus-building sort of persona, recast himself as a kind of would-be Yogi Adityanath. He recast himself as a kind of pro-Hindutva, pro-bulldozer as a means of justice, wearing the tag of being a bulldozer, Mamaji, with some pride and some comfort. Let's talk a little bit about Madhya Pradesh in a second. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, will he be literally the wild card win of this election, going against expectations, going against Kamalnath's confidence? Let's listen in.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी भारी बहुमत से सरकार बनाने जा रही है। मोदी जी के प्रति प्रेम और विश्वास, केंद्र सरकार की योजनाएं और मध्य प्रदेश सरकार की योजनाओं का कमाल, विकास मध्य प्रदेश में जो हुआ है वो अद्भुत और अभूतपूर्व हुआ है। उसके कारण जनता का विश्वास और चारों तरफ समाज के हर वर्ग से स्नेह, प्रेम और आशीर्वाद की वर्षा हुई है। लाडली बहनों ने तो आशीर्वाद दिया ही है, भांजे भी पीछे नहीं रहे। कुल मिला के समाज के हर वर्ग में भारतीय जनता पार्टी को अभूतपूर्व समर्थन मिला है और हम भारी बहुमत से
Okay, the leads have started. The
Yes,
leads have started.
yes,
Karthik, I know,
course.
you're itching to turn your mic on and say the
I
counting
have,
has begun.
I
Okay,
have
go ahead.
literally
Go
come
ahead.
from the airport to the studio just for this, Barkha. So
And
I will not
that
be.
too on your birthday. And that too on your birthday.
I will,
So go ahead.
I will not at all be apologetic about this excitement.
Okay, go
So,
ahead. Go ahead.
firstly,
Yeah.
Madhya Pradesh 6 leads out, 3 BJP, 3 Congress. Rajasthan 3 leads out, all 3 to the BJP. Telangana,
Yes.
I can see one. No, Chhattisgarh, I can see 1 lead out, Congress leading 1. So we have started the counting day for all. So if there was a proverbial ribbon to be cut, that ribbon has been cut.
Okay, so
But
the ribbon has
health
been...
warning, health warning, Barkha, sorry, health warning for the viewers. Early ballots are postal ballots. Conclusions should not be drawn, but this is just started now. And as we speak, Rajasthan is now 5, 3 to the BJP, 2 to the Congress. Back to you.
Okay, so the leads are now going to come in fast and furious. If you see our banners changing at the speed of light, don't get confused. We'll try and keep pace the best we can. These are going to come in very, very quickly. They're going to change very, very quickly also. And we'll do the best we can to keep pace. Counting is now officially open. And let's talk a little bit now with Banu. We're seeing... Again, health warnings, everything you see on your screen right now is early leads. Karthik has given us the warning that these are first postal ballots, and we're going to be very careful in identifying a trend of an election, certainly at 8:05. It's only been 5 minutes. Banu, what's at stake here? Which are the states that you're going to be really looking out for? Banu?
I'm particularly very keen on Telangana. So let's see how it goes, because that's the most dramatic of all the 5 state elections, because we had a party that was probably number 3 in the reckoning at the beginning of the year, and that's probably going to win the majority as far as the exit polls are concerned, which is the Congress. So I think I'm looking at it very closely to see how the parties stack up in Telangana. But going by what the exit poll says, all the 5 states, including Mizoram for tomorrow, are in for like a nail-biting finish. So pretty exciting day.
Okay, let me just actually bring